Hi, today you are here to watch a video on a new ruler that our company has put out, and the company name is Quiltworx, and it's a creative grids ruler, and I am Judy Niemeyer, and I'm going to do a quick demonstration on what our ruler is. It's a ruler that actually creates a little bit of a wave into a quilt, and you can use any type of a 12-inch block, or as long as it's 12-inch finished block, you can cut and put a wavy sashing into your quilt. Right? The ruler's been designed so that you can get both cuts, the inside curve and the outside curve in the ruler. So first of all, I want to demonstrate how to actually set up and cut the ruler. If you have fabrics that have a direction, then you're going to want to make sure that you're cutting the ruler with the direction. The ruler is reversible, so you don't have to worry about doing fabrics with whether they can be wrong sides together or they can be cut the other with right sides together. On this particular strip, this was cut 12.5 inches. The ruler is 12.5 inches, but you can use the ruler for smaller sizes as well because it has the numbers from 1 to 12 on there, so you can actually do a smaller block. The next thing, so what I'm going to do is there's two lines here, and I'm going to show you how to use the lines. For the first cut, we're going to just use the ruler. We have smart corners on the ends. We also have some TRP lines, which we refer to as a transition registration point per curve piecing. And if you mark those lines, it tells you exactly where to match up all of your points when you're sewing the curves together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler, we're going to lay it down there on both ends, we're going to grab our rotary cutter, we're going to move this, we're going to cut our smart corners right off of the ends there, and then we're going to rotate the board, and then we're going to cut the next one. Now all we have to do is just move the ruler up so we have no waste on these sashings. And again, we're going to take this and we're going to cut our smart corners. We're going to set that one over there. We're going to take our piece up here. And we're just going to keep cutting until we use up the whole strip. And that's enough that for that piece. We don't have to show you how to cut the whole strip. Remember to cut your smart corners. And then we're going to lay those pieces over here. And those are our first set of sashing. Okay, now what I want to do is show you how to cut from a larger piece. This particular piece is actually is a wave, and it started with an 8-inch block or an 8-inch strip, so it's 12.5 inches by 8. And it doesn't matter how wide you cut your blocks. The ruler is going to work as long as it's under 12.5 inches for the width of it. All right. So now we're going to use the two cut lines. So on the first one, we're going to actually take cut line 2, goes up here, and there is a cut line there, and it's white, so you'll have to look for it on the ruler. And we're going to take and cut our first piece like this. And then we're going to move this ruler down, and we're going to lay it down on the bottom onto the next cut line. And I told you that wrong. That was cut line 2. This one is actually cut line 1. So cut line 1 gives you a concave cut. Cut line 2 gives you a convex line. Now we're going to take this one and cut it like this. So now when we place these pieces together, we flip them, and now we have that. And then we can take these pieces, set them inside, and you can do these quilts with just fabric, or we're going to show you some paper piece units in just a few minutes. Okay, so that's what your wave is going to look like. All right, so we're going to set these two pieces aside. Our next cut, what I'm going to show you is how to do a border cut. So if you finish your quilt, when you're done, what you want to do is, if you want a straight edge along the top, then you're going to have to do 2 different cuts. On each strip is a different one. So we're going to start with the first one, and it is going to be cut line 2. And that's going to give me my first curve. Then we're going to take the next piece, and the next piece has to be the opposite. So we're going to place that on there just like that. And this one is cut line 1. So now what this gives me is a straight edge for my wavy border. And the lines have been set up on our ruler, so after you use, if you start with an 8-inch strip or 7-inch strip or 6-inch strip, after cutting, no matter how wide your strip is, your pieces are going to match up when you start putting your border together, right? So now we're going to set this aside. And then we're going to show you another thing you can do with the ruler. And this is actually a cut with what we did here is we cut both ends with cut line 1. And we're going to lay this on cut line 1 again. And I did that wrong.
You're gonna.
Okay, this is supposed to be cut line 2. This is what I'm showing you right now. There we go, sorry about that, I gave it to you wrong. This one, now we're going to roll this one around, and we put cut line 1 on there again. So you got to think a little bit about what you're doing, or you'll make mistakes like me. And lay this down. And now what I've got is 2 pieces that go like this. So we're going to take, and we're going to do the second cut, which is this piece. And on this one, we want to cut on cut line 1. Then we're going to roll it around. And we do cut line 1 again. And now when we put this border together, we have a border that goes like this. So we have an inside and an outside weave with it. Right? So now what I want to show you is some quick cutting with some foundation paper pieced units. So what we've done here is we've actually designed, we're starting to design some units that actually look like geese, and it's going to look just like this. Right? So we can take these pieces and we can set them inside and outline all of our strips to give us this type of a look. And now we can also take some of our other cuts, and if we wanted to put a border on it, that's a cut line there. We want a border one here. So we have this piece. And now you can see where my straight border comes from. Alright, so the foundation papers, I'll take all those out of the way. So on this particular set of foundation papers, we've actually given you the cut lines on them. And if I cut on line 1 on one of these papers, and then we take the straight ruler here, so there's my first border unit. And then I can do the opposite, and this will give me my second border unit. And that would be a cut line too. So that gives me an actual border that finishes with our geese. And again, we can take our little pieces here, and that gives us a row of geese at the top of our quilt. Now to do both lines, then you're going to take and cut your straight pieces first. And then we're going to take the next one. And now we're going to take the ruler. So what we've done with this particular group of papers is we've designed this one so that we can actually use the foundation paper piece, the units, and then come back and cut the ones that we want to do the curve with, and then use some of them with straight lines as well. Whoops, I missed that line. So one of the things you need to realize when you're working with foundation papers was before you use your start sewing on your foundation papers are going to measure the 12.5 inches. After you sew, they're going to start shrinking. So when you put your ruler on there, what you want to do is lay that ruler down there and cut to the center line, and then just slide the ruler back about 1/16 of an inch and slide to the other line, the other side, and it'll match it up to the ruler. After you remove the paper, you're going to find that your blocks are going to relax and fit down right perfect with your other pieces that you've cut without foundation paper. The quilt that you're seeing on the wall, this is actually a cut loose press pattern, and it's called the wicker basket. Another quilt that I'd like to show you is on the wall, and it's called a Windy Day quilt, and it's something that we are going to come out with in about 2 months. So what you're going to see is you're going to have different elements here, and these are going to be called charm elements, so you'll be able to order in the different types of elements that you want to go with your ruler to design your own quilt. And we have several of these on the design board to start playing with. You can use different colors of fabrics, you can use different colors of strips. The other thing that we have is we have a program called Quiltster that you can go out and color your quilts on, and you can actually pre-color these quilts in any color of fabric that you want. And that's a quick end to our presentation, and I hope you guys enjoy the ruler. It's a lot of fun to play with. Thank you.